In classrooms across the country, children struggle with the challenges of learning academic skills and content. Thanks to current research in neuroscience and psychology, we know that social-emotional learning, or SEL, is strongly correlated with student resilience, perseverance, a sense of belonging, and higher academic achievement.
When I teach, there are two really important skills that I need and that I need my students to have. And that is explaining well and asking really good, specific questions.
At San Jose State University, our faculty is focused on transforming pre-service teacher preparation, addressing both teacher and student SEL skills.
I learned that these two big triangles made a bigger triangle, and this parallelogram was facing to the left.
Minor.
It is all about teaching teachers to create safe learning environments.
As we engaged in professional development around these ideas, we would try to use cases of teaching, vignettes from the classroom, and we would sit as a group and talk about how do we bring an SEL lens to this instance of teaching practice.
One of the things for me that this video really illustrated well was the discombobulation that the student felt. I really want to put my candidates in the position of learners when they're learning something new or something that potentially might be frustrating or doesn't come easy to them.
So I think I can build on my formative feedback session, add an SEL lens, a respectful classroom community. We're going to be practicing some of the skills that we talked about in terms of feedback with children that both fosters learning and helps their resiliency and helps them develop the social and emotional learning skills that we know are crucial to mathematics.
In this Math Methods course, Dr. Swanson builds off of our faculty professional development by integrating SEL into math instruction. She attends to issues of self-awareness and problem-solving, relationship skills, and formative feedback, all within the context of math instruction.
We're going to start with emotional awareness and regulation. And I'm going to show you a problem. Calculate a 500 cubic centimeter sample of seawater has a mass of 514 grams. Find its density. I want to ask you, how does this problem make you feel? Okay, what's your emotional reaction to it?
First looking at this, scary. And the first thing we talked about in our group was our second language learners.
Today's lesson was really a valuable experience as a future teacher because we were put in the place of a student. So we were exposed to problems that terrified us as college students, and we were excited to use the manipulatives to explore the idea and the concepts of the math, and it made it easier for us to learn, and if it helped us, it would help our students.
She's forgetting that radius and diameter aren't really the same thing.
Student teachers taking these courses then go into their field experience classrooms where they have a chance to apply what they've learned and receive feedback through coaching.
The average truck carried 5 2/3 cubic yards of dirt, which weighed 3/4 of a ton. How many tons of dirt were used in the fill? So right now, turn and in your table groups, talk to them about how you feel when you see a problem like this.
Kind of nervous, kind of stressed out.
I feel angry and I don't like it.
Did anybody sort of just shut down? You're like, I'm done. Raise your hand. I'm done.
So it's 3/16 and then 9/16.
If children are going to understand mathematics, they have to be able to explain their thinking. They have to be able to talk to one another, to justify their reasoning, and frankly, to listen to others and critique the reasoning of others. Indeed, it's one of the Common Core mathematics practices.
3/16 times, and I don't know how many is it?
That calls for some very serious work on giving students the social skills for communicating clearly, respectfully, for listening carefully to one another, at the same time as they're thinking mathematically.
So here's what you did on your board. You said, I have 3/16. In learning to teach in this day and age where we have all of this curriculum and all these new standards, I am going through sort of this social emotional learning cycle of self-awareness with all the time. So it's always in my mind that I'm working through things and I'm stressed and I'm anxious and I'm scared I won't get things done. And because I'm dealing with that, it makes it pretty easy to see it reflected in my students' faces and to remember to bring that in. Great job today.
You said there were 2 things that you wanted me to look for. Let me talk about modeling first, because I just wanted to give you some very specific feedback. It worked well having the whiteboard and the kit. But what I noticed is the person with the whiteboard did their whiteboard work and the person with the kit did their kit work, and there wasn't as much interaction between the two.
Right.
So I was wondering if you wanted in our next lesson that one of the things we would work with is structured language opportunities.
Absolutely.
The first tower that we're going to do is 2 blocks high.
SEL must be integrated into the very fabric of teaching and learning at all stages of the professional development continuum.
Good job, you got it. Okay.
If I can help our teacher candidates develop this social-emotional learning lens, then they in turn can pass these skills on to their students.
The good news is that it is possible. By starting at the beginning in teacher preparation, we can succeed.
I asked him which way the medium triangle was pointing, and he said it was pointing up, and I think that helped me.
He looked at it and he said, "Challenge accepted." And I kind of like teaching that to students.